Joining us this morning, former commercial pilot and security expert Anthony Roman. Anthony, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Boy, looking at those different videos, you're just like, this just looks like it's going to be. Look, I mean, so Anthony, what are you seeing when you're seeing this?
The conditions at the airport were difficult under the best of circumstances. There were winds gusting from 30 to 40 miles per hour and coming at an angle towards the aircraft landing at about 40 degrees. It's a challenging landing. The airport is within proximity of Lake Ontario, and those winds can vary direction. I was watching the rescue scenario via video, and they had a view of what's called the windsock. And the windsock allows the pilot to have visualization of the direction of the wind and its gusts. And you can see that windsock moving from right to left and gusting. So the conditions for landing, tough. But these are professional pilots. The Delta crews are impeccably well trained. It's a highly disciplined organization with a great safety record. But it could have been low-level wind shear as they're beginning to flare the aircraft. If the wind gust diminished suddenly and dramatically, it can cause a wing to fall and a hard landing, resulting in a landing gear failure, a wing problem, and then the rollover. So there'll be big question marks as to whether or not this was the conditions or the pilots were descending too quickly. A big question mark. Interestingly enough,
the whole wing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I had a family member landing at approximately 10 p.m. at JFK Airport, and I was texted shortly after the landing by that family member that they encountered wind shear at very low altitude, and that landing aircraft had to go around at the very last minute and saved the airplane in that fashion. However, the CRJ was just about to touch down when they seemed to have a problem.
Yeah, and let's look at that, because there's no doubt wind shear could have had something to do with the pressure gradient at the time, maybe shifted. But it seems, Anthony, I'm just, when you see these flames and this black smoke come out, how is it that this thing didn't, how was it able to remain relatively intact when upon hitting the ground, there's already flames?
The CRJ-900 has an excellent safety record in the United States. It's quite a capable aircraft. And the new seats within the aircraft, the passenger seats, are rated up to 16 Gs of force. And that really helped maintain the safety for the passengers following the rollover. And the emergency rescue crew was there within a couple of minutes and doused the fire immediately. It was a combined response of the emergency crews at the airport and that aircraft's wonderful capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, it's really miraculous when you look at all of the different conditions that maybe played. It really isn't. But Anthony, so far this year, this is, I think, the fourth major aviation incident. What's going on?
Yeah, it's the third of this type of consequence. And, it's a funny thing. I've tracked aviation accidents for the last 40 years, and they seem to roll into threes. There's no study with regard to that. It's just an unusual set of affairs. But the conditions were difficult. The runway was slippery, snow and ice, right off Lake Ontario, high gusting winds, tough circumstances for a great crew and great aircraft.
Anthony Roman, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Appreciate it.